Today we are going to discuss the last topic in the fourth unit, that is parallel operation of EHVAC and HVDC lines. So far whatever discussions we have had earlier, we realize that mainly HVDC offers cost effective solution for bulk power transmission over long distances when the generating stations are located in places far away from the load centers. Similarly, HVDC links, these are used for providing power from the distributed renewable energy sources like windmills and uh, solar energy, solar photovoltaic energy generations. Okay, and also interconnecting uh, load centers with the generation via C-link using cables. So all these options are are discussed earlier, and we have also seen some videos of practical implementations of such applications. But now, what is the need for parallel operation of AC and HVDC line when HVDC offers certain advantages over HVAC? Why we want to operate them in parallel? So the simple reason is that we want to provide stability to two or more large AC networks by having a parallel HVDC link. In large AC power systems, if the oscillations in the power angle, okay, if the oscillations in the power angle around equilibrium position, they go on increasing in amplitude, then such a condition is called as dynamic instability. Oscillations in power angle. Oscillations in power angle occur due to various reasons, maybe changes in load, occurrence of faults, isn't it? Variation in the frequency. All these are the reasons that may cause oscillations in the power angle. Okay, and consequently, the power angle may move away from the equilibrium position, leading to dynamic instability in AC systems. So dynamic instability usually do not occur in closely meshed networks. It does not occur in closely meshed network. That means where the generators and loads are integrated properly, closely meshed. And such a system is characterized by high short circuit levels. High short circuit levels. Such networks are known as strong AC networks. Such networks are known as strong AC network, and they provide enough internal damping for their characteristics frequency of oscillations in the power angle. So strong AC networks, they have ability to provide damping against characteristic frequency of oscillations in the power angle. So the range of power angle oscillation lies in the range of 0.5 Hertz to 2 Hertz. Okay. But what will happen if the AC networks which are interconnected, they are not very strong networks? If two or more AC networks are interconnected and one of them or maybe both of them, they are not a strong AC networks, in that case the power angle oscillations may lead to generators falling out of step or generators pulling out of generation, leading to consequences which can ultimately lead to major breakdowns or cascade breakdowns, a failure of the grid, and so on. Right? So, what can be done? So, the option is to have parallel connected HVDC links. Let us check. The power angle oscillations, they occur usually when one of the parallel AC lines is opened. Power angle oscillations, they will occur when one of the parallel AC lines is open. That way, when does the parallel AC line opens? Whenever there is a fault. So the relays will detect the fault and they will trip that particular AC line. Okay, and hence HVDC system is needed that will provide suitable damping control against power angle oscillations. HVDC system has the capability of controlling these power angle oscillations provided they are connected in parallel with the existing AC network. Of course, a detailed study has to be done in terms of stability and especially the dynamic stability of AC networks, two or more AC networks which are interconnected, in order to justify the cost of putting additional HVDC link in parallel just to provide the uh, control over power angle oscillations and provide stability, right? The power flow through HVDC link can be controlled at a fast rate as compared with the periodic time of oscillations. So this is the advantage of HVDC link. Power flow can be controlled at a very fast rate. Power flow can be controlled at fast rate. So this is very obvious because power flow in HVDC system is controlled by controlling a firing angle, which has a very short response time. Microseconds thyristor will turn on and turn off. Okay. Hence, HVDC link is incorporated between two or more AC network to improve dynamic stability. That is the primary reason for such type of interconnection, right? Okay, so let us move ahead. There are two types of interconnections that can be provided to improve the dynamic stability. First type is highlighted here. It is a synchronous link. First type is a synchronous link. Okay, there are two types. First one is synchronous, other one is asynchronous. So what is a synchronous type of interconnection? So observe here carefully. There is one AC network. It is represented by equivalent source, and there is another AC network. AC network 1 and AC network 2. And power is flowing from one network to the another network through several number of circuits are there. AC line, this is the first line, the second line, third line. Okay, please remember here line 1 doesn't mean R phase, Y phase or B phase. Line 1 means this is one of the complete 3-phase circuit. This is the next 3-phase circuit, right? Because with the bulk power transmission or bulk power sharing, number of circuits are required. We have done calculation in EHVAC. Number of circuits are required. So let us say there are two circuits which are carrying equal amount of power in order to share a bulk power transmission over a defined distance. And in parallel with the existing AC lines, what we have here in between, okay, is a HVDC link. So you can see here the converter 1 substation, converter 2 substation, corresponding converter transformers, right? These are 12 pulse operations, and such a type of connection where AC lines are connected in parallel with the HVDC line. This is a parallel connection. For the same two network, power is being flowing through the AC network and power is also being controlled by a parallel connected DC network. Since two networks are connected directly through the AC lines, this means that the two networks, they have a similar frequency and rated voltage, isn't it? Voltage and frequency. So that is a synchronous interconnection. AC network 1 is in synchronism with AC network 2. And to provide this dynamic stability to such a synchronous interconnected two AC networks, an HVDC link is connected in parallel. Right? So how does HVDC link provides the stability to such synchronous link? As mentioned earlier, that let us imagine that there is a fault here on AC line 1. There is a fault here on AC line 1. So what will happen is that this line, okay, this line will be cut off from the power supply. So as soon as the line is cut off from the power supply, naturally what will happen is that due to opening of one of the parallel connected lines, the other line, right, the second line here down at the bottom, this will have to face the power angle oscillations. Generally both of them have to carry the power equally, or maybe depending upon the load flow they have to carry that power. But in case of fault on one of the lines, so that circuit will be isolated maybe for a short duration. It may be a fault which is self-clearing type. It may not be a self-clearing fault, right? In either case, there will be power angle oscillations induced on the healthy phase. This is a faulted phase and this is a healthy phase. In order to minimize the power angle oscillations on the healthy phase, the HVDC link operates with certain control criteria. HVDC is capable of carrying supplying power from one end to the other, okay, irrespective of whether frequencies are equal or unequal. The control criteria can be set here. So as soon as there is a fault in one of the lines, AC lines, right, the power balance has to be obtained between the two networks, as single line cannot carry double the power. So HVDC network will not only carry that additional amount of power, but will do so at the same time it will maintain condition that will minimize power angle oscillations on the healthy phase. Okay, so not only it will carry the power, but it will also maintain create conditions based on certain criteria, based on certain measurements, okay, based on certain decision variables, that it will supply power from AC network 1 to AC network 2 and at the same time provide dynamic stability to the system while one of the phase got opened. Okay, so what are those variables and how does it provide? That we are going to check in the further slides. Let us move ahead. Okay, now focus your attention on this power angle versus time characteristics. You can see here this is the power angle plotted on y-axis and time is plotted on the x-axis, right? So power angle versus time. Now let us observe that there are various characteristics indicated on this particular plot. It shows the ideal value for power angle delta. If you remember, we have done several calculations for the power transfer capability, and standard value of sine delta we used to take 0.5, delta equal to 30 degrees. Okay, so the margin between 30 and 90 degrees is to have the stability margin. Because of the power angle oscillations, power angle has a tendency to oscillate in the range of 30 to 90 degrees and even go beyond, depending upon what kind of oscillations are occurring or what kind of instability is coming into picture. Okay, and see the time that is represented here, it is in seconds, 1 2 3 4 5 6 seconds. Okay, so in a very short interval of time the dynamic instability will come into picture and it will affect the operation of AC networks. So what are the various control strategies that are being used to provide the stability? So we can clearly see, we just focus attention that if only AC lines are present, if only AC lines are present, then this curve 2 is applicable. Two networks connected only through the AC lines, and one of the lines is opened. So what will happen is that all the load will be shifted to the only other line that is available, and that line will undergo instability as power angle will simply shoot up and it will reach beyond 90 degrees. So as soon as the power angle goes beyond 90 degrees, that means the generator will detect and it will simply fall out of step. Power cannot flow from AC network 1 to 2. This is a condition. This shows that the generator will pull out of step. Okay, with only AC lines, right, dynamic instability will simply lead power angle exceeding beyond 90 degrees, right, so falling out of step. That is the thing, right. Now observe that we have connected HVDC link in parallel. So now we come to the curve 1. First we have seen curve 2, now curve 1. If HVDC link is added in parallel with a constant power control strategy, if HVDC link is added in parallel with the existing AC lines to provide dynamic stability, okay, and what will happen, it is observed that if we try to maintain the power, if we try to make constant power control on HVDC system, maintain the power flowing through the HVDC network to provide stability, then the situation becomes worse. The power angle oscillation will be still amplified. From 2 we are moving towards 1. That means it will fall out of step much earlier. Earlier it was taking nearly 2.5 seconds time. Now it is taking 1.5 second time. It is falling out of step. So if we simply adopt only constant power control with HVDC connected in parallel with AC, strategy is only constant power control, trying to maintain the constant power. So it is observed that the situation will be worse as compared to only AC line present. Situation is worse. From 2 to 1 it is worse. Okay, it is falling out of step in much lesser time. So that is highly undesirable. That is highly undesirable. So what can be done? That is suggested here. Now focus your attention on the characteristics number 3, isn't it? So characteristics 3, it indicates constant power control on HVDC with underdamped system. Constant power control with underdamped system. Okay, underdamped means some control parameter is added other than constant power to provide damping. So what is that control? It can be a variation with respect to the change in the frequency between AC network 1 and AC network 2. Okay, change in the frequency, or maybe the frequency of power angle oscillations. Okay, so what is the frequency? Let us say it is rising very fast. So this is a high frequency. Higher the frequency, damping will be added, right? So how can the damping? So HVDC constant power control along with the difference in the power angle oscillation frequency, that will lead to adding additional control parameter in order to bring the system back to normal. But we can see if the system is under damped, still the oscillations, they are gradually decreasing. They are taking some time to reach a new stable point indicated by 3, characteristics 3, right. Lastly we come to the fourth characteristics, which is indicating constant power control, okay, with critical damping. With critical damping, we should set the second control variable other than the constant power control to such a value that we reach a critical damping. Critical damping means the oscillations which are happening here in case 3, that should also be not be present, because these oscillations are not good for stable operation of AC lines for such a long period of time, 5 to 6 seconds. Okay, if some more disturbance occur, this again may fall out of step. Okay, so this is how the HVDC system comes into picture, and it is capable of providing control over power angle oscillations with respect to time, providing dynamic stability by putting additional parameter for providing the damping, right? If we simply adopt constant power control, then the situation becomes worse. We don't want to provide only constant power control through the parallel HVDC, but we provide some sort of damping. So this damping is based on the frequency signal with respect to power angle, right? So let us check with the further discussion. Okay, so same points are described here, that a synchronous interconnection, it means AC networks which are operating at the same frequency. This is a matter of revision I am just taking. These points are mentioned, already discussed with the diagram. Then in case of disturbance or fault on one of the parallel AC lines, right, the dynamic instability may pull the system out of step. This is clearly mentioned, okay, as shown by curve 2. And in presence of constant power control in HVDC link, fine, the situation is worst. Situation is worst. Okay. But it is observed that when parallel AC line is opened, the resulting oscillations of power angle can be damped satisfactorily by choice of suitable control signal added to the HVDC power control, right? Suitable control signal. So what is that control signal that we have to realize? Okay. The additional control parameter, fine, the additional control parameter is proportional to the difference of frequency that gives reduced swinging and brings back the frequency deviation to negligible, right? Frequency deviation, power angle oscillations, these are caused due to difference in the frequency of two AC networks, and that can be minimized by adding this particular frequency difference as a control parameter. So HVDC system will adjust the power considering the deviation in the frequency between the two systems. Let us focus our attention to the diagram drawn here. Okay, on the y-axis we have got the difference in frequency signal represented, delta f, and on the x-axis we are having time with respect to time, right? And again, now different strategies are there, fine. So first strategy, the very first strategy here, okay, I'll just mark here. This is the first strategy, constant power control. Constant power control is leading to this kind of characteristics, that is, deviation in frequency with respect to time goes on increasing. Earlier also we have shown 4 characteristics, curve 2, curve 1, curve 3 and curve 4, isn't it? Here now, curve 1, constant power control on HVDC. So frequency deviation is steadily rising, it is not coming under control with respect to time. Frequency deviation itself is an indicator of power angle oscillations. Next, the next type of characteristics is constant power control, constant power angle control. Okay, constant power angle control. So we want to maintain constant power angle. Okay, and that's why we keep detecting what is the value of power angle, and then that itself can be given as a control parameter for operating the HVDC link in parallel, isn't it? And with this, the resulting characteristics is obtained. It looks like here is the sinusoidal. That means frequency deviation is still oscillatory, although its magnitude is reduced as compared to curve 1. Its magnitude is reduced, but it has become oscillatory. Frequency deviation is fluctuating sinusoidally. So this is also an undesirable state, right? So what are the other options? The other options are constant power and delta F control for operating HVDC link. Okay, constant power. We maintain constant power on the HVDC link, and we provide damping with difference in the frequency as mentioned here in the paragraph above. Difference in the frequency control. So with the third alternative, we can observe that frequency deviates with respect to time, but it settles to a new value. Okay, it settles to, so frequency deviation is there, and it will exist with respect to time, but it is not oscillating now. It is not going beyond the scope. It is just reaching some new value until the faulted line is reclosed, so it will settle to a new value. And now lastly, the strategy that is adopted is constant power angle control and delta F control. So remember, first one only constant power control, second only constant power angle control. Okay, then constant power with frequency deviation control. So first one constant power with frequency deviation, situation is 3, but constant power angle control with frequency deviation control, right? So here strategy 1 and 3, these are correlated. Both of them have constant power control, but with delta F control. Then here 2 and 4, right? 2 and 4, they are constant power angle control with frequency deviation control. So 1 and 3, they have some strategies in common. They are constant power based. 2 and 4, they have some strategies in common, that is power angle control. So it is observed that the best result is obtained with respect to the strategy 4, right? You can see here that the frequency deviation initially rises, it reaches certain small peak value, and then it settles to a lesser. So frequency deviation is kept to the minimum with constant power angle control with difference in the frequency control. So both these strategies added to the HVDC scheme, it will be possible for us to bring the dynamic stability back, okay, or to enhance the dynamic stability during the disturbance. So these are the points. Now let us move ahead and check with the asynchronous type of interconnection. Let us check with the asynchronous type of interconnection, right? So in asynchronous system, naturally asynchronous means two or more systems which are connected, they are having different frequencies of operation, right? So generally asynchronous interconnection is adopted in order to connect weak AC network with strong AC networks. Okay, so please focus your attention here. This is AC system 1 or AC network 1, right? Then this is second AC network 2. These two are connected directly through the AC lines, AC line 1, AC line 2, AC line 3, right? So a bulk power transmission is taking place between AC network 1 and AC network 2, or AC system 1 to AC system 2, through three different three-phase networks, lines, right? Three circuits are there, okay? And to provide stability to these interconnected weak networks, fine, the AC network 2 is connected to a strong AC system, that is an infinite bus, strong AC system number 3, through a DC HVDC link. So two networks, they may be weak networks, okay, they are sharing power through multiple AC lines, but HVDC is not connected between two weak AC systems, right? Rather, these two are provided stability by interconnecting one of the stations. Here in this case AC system 2 is connected to a strong AC network, infinite grid or infinite bus, through HVDC line. Now again that same type of mechanism is applicable, that you have to observe here, okay, that one of the AC lines will get opened because of the fault. There is a fault. So circuit breakers are shown here in the line 3 will open because of some fault. As a consequence, the other two lines, they will experience power angle oscillations. They will undergo dynamic instability. Naturally, these two AC networks being interconnected, we have already seen, due to the dynamic instability, they may fall out of step, and power angle oscillation will go on increasing with respect to time. They will go on increasing with respect to time. So how do we provide stability if there is no parallel connected HVDC system? To provide stability to such AC networks, we connect them to a strong AC system, right? So again similar strategies will be there, that this strong AC system, this will be injecting some power into the network, okay, and it will again use constant power angle control with frequency deviation control, right? Since these two are closely connected, isn't it? This particular system, it will detect the difference in the frequency of these two systems, deviation in the frequency of these two systems with respect to the strong AC system, and provide a control variable, okay, a corrective signal will be provided, which will enable HVDC controller to manipulate the power flow and try to maintain the dynamic stability of system 1 and system 2 with respect to system 3, right? So same control variables, same control strategies that we have seen with respect to the synchronous interconnection. So let us observe this particular diagram here. Again, on the y-axis we have the power angle characteristics, fine, here between system 1 and 2, and x-axis it is time, okay, here. So power angle versus time characteristics, fine. The value of stable value of delta is 30 degrees. So this particular blue this flat line is indicating, right, dashed line, and we see here there are two characteristics indicated. One is this, right, number 1, and then the other one with lesser amount of oscillation is 2. Okay, so you can see here the larger oscillations are going on increasing. So these are actually without any damping control. without any damping. If there is no damping, then the power angle oscillations will go on increasing steadily. Fine. But if there is a proper damping control based on the frequency deviation, based on the power angle deviation, then it is possible to damp out those oscillations and the characteristics too with a lesser amount of oscillations. And although these oscillations are there, but their average value finally it is settling down, coming back to nearly 30 degrees. Of course, here you can see the time frame for asynchronous type of interconnection. Generally, the time required for bringing the system back to normalcy is nearly 2 to 3 times as compared to the synchronous interconnection. We can see here time is in like 10, 15, 20 seconds. It is shown like this, right? So, an asynchronous HVDC link has no parallel AC lines, right? That is we have seen in the diagram in this particular section. The prevailing frequencies of two AC networks are different. Fine. Asynchronous, that means the strong AC network, it will have different frequency compared to the two weaker AC networks which are directly connected, and they are not in synchronism, right? They are not in synchronism. Okay. So the HVDC link transfers power from bus bar to second AC network, right? It transfers power from bus bar 2 by interconnecting it with an infinite bus, that is bus number 3. We have seen in the diagram. So this is a description, just a matter of revision. By introducing control parameter described earlier, that is the deviation in the frequency and deviation in the power angle can be added to the power controller of HVDC link. So those signal decisions are made based on the additional control parameters. The oscillations in the power angle between AC system 1 and 2 can be damped. They can be damped as shown in figure 2. Okay. In the absence of any damping control, the power angle oscillations go on increasing in amplitude as indicated by curve 1. Okay. However, by the use of HVDC system, the power angle oscillations can be damped and restored to a new value within a short time span of around 10 seconds. This is what is indicated on the characteristics. So we have studied two types of parallel interconnection of EHVAC and HVDC network. One is a synchronous AC network, right? And the other one is a asynchronous interconnection. In asynchronous interconnection, the weaker AC network is connected to a strong AC system, infinite bus, so the frequencies are different, that is why it's an asynchronous type. And damping is provided by providing additional control parameter, that is the frequency deviation between the two networks, and so also tracking the changes in power angle with respect to time. So we'll stop here.